Hello everyone, WatchThisReview here with my news and updates for the month of June. Assembled before you are just some random figures. First off is a Captain America from the Marvel Superhero Squad, I guess, plush line, which I won a few days ago. Honestly, nowhere near as impressed with this as I was with the Hawkeye or Cyclops, both of which were great. I don't know, it's just kind of mediocre. He's got a really cheap looking sort of felt material shield and then meh. Also, there's Red Alert and Warpath from the Generations line. Really love the robot mode and vehicle modes for Red Alert. Hate the transformation. Warpath's vehicle and robot were kind of goofy, but I really love the transformation, so it's kind of a weird counterplay. Now, I guess big news first, because, just putting the best foot forward or whatever. Most cases, actually, more of a worst foot forward. But yeah, some of my local retailers have finally started updating their selection, their planos or whatever, revamping the aisles. I guess partly because you have these summer movies coming out, and then they have to get like their Dark Knight stuff onto the shelves. In the case of Walmart, I had a rather long and confusing conversation with one of the people who I guess is in charge of the section. I honestly don't know why I bother going to Walmart anymore. And first off, they almost never have anything in, and even when they do, well, they never do, so it's kind of academic. But I mean, a few things they do have, but most of the time it's just a complete waste. Unfortunately, they're also the only one in my area carrying the Wave 2 of Marvel Legends. I say carrying in that, they should theoretically stock it, but never have anything on the shelf. But in the conversation, among other things, the person tried to convince me that they weren't carrying Marvel Legends. Well, first of all, she was saying Marvel products aren't a regularly carried thing for the toys, which, I mean, come on, that's just stupid. And then after that, she was talking about like, oh, they were just starting to do the Marvel Legends stuff, when in fact they've had it since, I think they got their selection in February, March, and that was like the only time I ever saw anything in for the store for the Marvel Legends brand. So yeah, completely useless, annoying, stupid people working at these stores. I don't understand why stores would put people in charge of sections where they don't actually know the product. At least when I go to Target and, they also have their issues, people there do tend to know what's going on. A few people actually do collect, so they're marginally helpful, whereas Walmart's every conversation just leads to aggravation, head scratching, and all that bad stuff. But yeah, I saw some of the new Dark Knight Rises stuff in stores. Actually, a whole bunch of new Batman stuff. Let's jump to some photos of that. By the way, these photos aren't mine. I just cribbed some stuff from Toy Arc. I guess somebody saw these in stores as well and posted them. I generally only have my cell phone camera with me when I'm stopping into retailers, and the quality in those kind of crappy. I should just bring my camera with me someday, but I don't know, it feels kind of weird. At any rate, Target is having a, I guess, exclusive configuration, the Battle for Gotham City, for the smaller stuff. The Dark Knight Rises stuff is generally broken into, well, it looks like they've got several different things going on. First off, you have the Movie Masters, which both people seem to be charging $16 or $16.50 for, which is a lot considering that their normal DC Universe Classic stuff is only $16, and those are larger figures. And but in addition to that, they also have a smaller line of stuff. They're actually a little bit shorter than the ones that you might have previously collected for, say, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and so forth. For the normal selection, it doesn't look like I haven't seen a Catwoman there. I saw a bunch of boxes just stacked up at Walmart, so I just cut them open. So I saw what was coming in each of the boxes, and it's more to the lines just like one Bane and then a whole bunch of different versions of Batman, and the Bane wasn't that version. But basically, it's only got what looks to be, I think it's 5 points of articulation, so I mean it's very retro-ish. But on the lighter note, they're actually only $5, which I guess in many ways they're a throwback to how things were in the 90s. Although you kind of don't want to pick up that sort of stuff anyway, 'cause it's kind of low quality. But you know, I can understand why they would do that for kids and stuff, where you have the collector's mark and, you know, the prices just keep going up and up on these figures. So, something for the parents to buy their kids, to get the kids to shut up without breaking the bank there. I will say that I do like the look of that Anne Hathaway Catwoman. I mean, if it was single-carded, might pick it up, but then again, I'll probably pick up the Movie Masters one, so kind of academic. The other really neat thing is these Power Battlers. I saw somebody review them. I can't remember. Maybe it's HD Toy Theater or Darth Czar or whatever. Review one of the other ones from the line, but I saw the Killer Croc in stores, almost immediately picked it up, except for the fact that they looked like the arms were a little popped out, and then some paint blemishes. But definitely on the radar there. I will be picking it up the next time I stop in and see a clean copy. Really cool looking figure. I guess the Batman Power Raiders or Power Attackers, or there's some crappy name. But it's sort of a gimmick line. It's more stylized. It's got, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's something that goes in line with a cartoon, but I don't think there's a cartoon out for it yet. So, eh. Apparently there are also these sort of action lines. I think the figures might be similar to the other 4/5 inch ones that being sold for $5. But again, you know, just has a definite feel of a throwback to, I don't know, I guess the Batman Returns line, Batman Forever and all that. Did Batman and Robin have a toy line? I can't remember it. I know that film bombed in theaters, so it's possible it didn't, but I wasn't really picking up stuff at that point. The other thing is, I'm finally starting to see Spider-Man figures at retail as well. It seems like they brought out everything at once during the revamp. These are the 6-inch figures. Probably should have looked at the ones I was pulling up before I did, but yeah, these kind of neat. I wouldn't mind picking up the Lizard there, but specifically I was talking about the 3 3/4 inch/4-inch figures, which now while my Walmart tossed out a ton of stuff on the shelf, it looked like they went through like 2 or 3 boxes of them. The one thing they didn't have was the Ultra Posable, which honestly is the only worthwhile thing from the line so far. Again, looks like a lot of rehashes of previous stuff. Do they have any other images? Damn, no. I was hoping they'd have some images of the 4-inch ones. I don't feel like digging around for them, though. But again, you know, just kind of lackluster line. It looks very much like the previous Spider-Man Fiercest Foe stuff in some regards, especially where it's probably going to be somewhat limited articulation. Some of them actually looked exactly like the one Venom they had included there looked like the Water Battler's Venom or something, which only 5 points of articulation. It was a terrible sculpt, so why they would opt to release that one instead of one of the sculpts that didn't suck, you know, it's a mystery. In other news of interest, the Revoltech Spider-Man has its pre-orders open at this point. For those of you who don't recall the Revoltech line, it's on the 5-inch scale. It uses something called a revolver joint seen there. You know, it's basically kind of a ball joint. If I don't sound very excited about this, well, it's technically not the figure's fault. First, I think it looks fine for a Revoltech. Typically, a lot of the Revoltechs come out a little bit messy. The only thing I don't quite like is just the eyes. They look a little bit small. I prefer the wider, bigger eyes for the Spider-Man figures. I think this is possibly based on the movie look. I can't remember offhand. But the one issue is where you're paying all sorts of money to import these. You know, there already are so many Spider-Man figures available, many of which are actually a bit better than this, and even if you're just looking for a 5-inch Spider-Man, you know, the Spidey 3 line, which I guess is kind of okay. It wasn't great, but, you know, it was already out and it was a lot cheaper than this. So, food for thought. Food for thought. The other bigger news is they added the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord to the Bandai's Chogokin line. Can't remember how it's pronounced. Already pre-ordered this bad boy. Supposedly they're only like 6 inches tall, which kind of sucks, but hey, whatever. Loved the show. I think this is a great representation of the Megazord. I already own several representations of the Megazord, I think, so it's kind of stupid that I'm buying this. Especially given that this one doesn't even transform, but hey, whatever, it looks awesome. Unfortunately, once again, it's one of those more pricey things. It was like 3,500 yen to pre-order an Ame Ame. So that works out to, what's it, like 43, 44, $45 American. And then, you know, once you pay the costs associated with shipping, probably close to $60 for a 6-inch figure. Eh, yeah. The other downside is that, you know, it's not on the same scale as the Mattel released Voltron, because I would have loved to have just put the two of them side by side on the shelf, but yeah, there's going to be a good inch or two of difference, so kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. Also, just quickly wanted to mention that I did a haul video for my most recent Big Bad Toy Store order / shipment. I generally don't do haul videos, partly because I don't think they're really entertaining for the viewer, but mostly because whatever I buy I end up reviewing anyway, or in the case of this Green Lantern Movie Masters stuff I've already reviewed a copy of. But hey, if you're interested in seeing it, I will have the link in the description. And since I probably won't be reviewing the Power Girl, that's the only time I'll be showing it off, so I don't generally review statues. And that's about it for my news and updates for the month of June. Now, while I'm sure that I'm forgetting something, you know, there's always going to be one more thing, but hey. I will just mention that I finished watching the first season of Transformers Prime, which is up on Netflix Instant, the streaming service. Yeah, I actually really like the series. The first few episodes were kind of rocky, mostly because we're supposed to believe that they're trying to keep a low profile, yet they expose themselves to 3 characters in the first episode. Kinda nuts. Especially where it's RC who exposes herself all 3 times. They should just really not let her out of the base or something. Actually, I'm surprised that they don't have like a cast of 50 or 60 humans at this point under their protection because of just inadvertent clumsiness. But hey, whatever. Again, the human characters kind of bug me. I guess Miko is kind of funny. The others I don't really like. I understand Miko is supposed to be the annoying character, but honestly, she has a lot of energy. She's funny half the time. You know, the pairing with Bulkhead is pretty amusing, whereas a lot of the other ones, like Raph, you almost never see, despite being the only member of the team who's actually useful. And then Jack, who just mopes and complains a lot, which just really irritates me a ton. But yeah, I still need to see the second season or whatever, so I've got to track that down. But yeah, till next time, folks.